Literature is from the Latin word latera, which means letter. It is basically any form of writing or speaking that is considered art. It can be poems, stories, plays, or even speeches. It uses language in a creative way to tell a story, express feelings, or share ideas. Sometimes literature combines with other art forms like music or theater to make the experience even richer. So there are functions of literature. The first one is entertainment function, known as pleasure reading. In this function, literature is used to entertain its readers. Literary works are consumed for the sake of one's enjoyment. So from the word pleasure reading, it is simply reading for fun. It's about choosing books, poems, or stories that you find enjoyable and engaging without any pressure to learn or analyze. It's a way to escape, relax, and let your imagination run wild. Or you're just letting yourself get lost in the world the author has created.
So the next is social and political literature. So literature paday is dili lang usa ka art but it also means of exploring and understanding societal and political dynamics by examining the connection between literature and this aspect. So we see no literature helps us grasp social condition. So literature is connected to social and political because it reflects the conditions of its time, protects system of power, encourages changes, preserves cultural identity, and gives voice to marginalized group. So the example of social and political literature is about the novel of Jose Rizal, which is the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. So No Limit Tangere is about the story follows the life of Crisostomo Ibarra, a young Filipino who returns from Europe with the hope of reforming his country. So the No Limit Tangere result exposes the corruption, abuse, and social inequities perpetuated by both the colonial government and the Catholic Church. So the result works napabiling cornerstone of the Philippine literature.
So, cultural function. Literature orients us to the traditions, folklore, and the arts of our ethnic groups' heritage. So, literature preserves entire cultures and creates an imprint of the people's way of living for others to read, hear, and learn. So, kining cultural function kay mao ni siya ang mga tradisyon, alamat at mga sining na pamana ng ating mga pangkat etniko. For example, Grimm's fairy tales. So, these collections of folk stories captures the essence of German culture, its moral lessons, and societal norms through enchanting narratives. So, that is the example of cultural function.
Everyone. So our report is all about the functions of literature. So ideological function. Literature shapes our way of thinking based on the ideas of other people. Literature also displays a person's ideology placed in the text consciously and unconsciously. Next is moral function. Literature may impart moral values to its readers. The morals contained in a literacy text, whether good or bad, are absorbed by whoever reads it, thus helps in shaping their personality. Ideological function, it means the ideological function is the conventions and culture that make up the dominant ideas of a society. It also guides the people to establish ideals and beliefs. So from the word ideology, so mo na siya kasagaran nga gisunod o gipaniniwalaan ng mga tao sa isang lugar. So mo na siya ang pasabot sa ideological function. So sa moral function kay moral function is the message that is conveyed or a lesson to be learned from a story or event. The moral may be left to hearer, reader, or viewer to determine for themselves, or may be explicitly encapsulated in a maximum. A moral is a lesson in a story or in a real life in the story of the novel. So, ang pasabot aning moral function kay for example, ang kana magbasa ka og story. So, sa mga story naman kita yung mga character nga karang naay good, naay bad. So, diha ka makakuha og karang and the end of the story, diha ka makakuha og moral lesson. So, mo na siya ang pasabot sa moral function.
Educational function, it allows individuals to engage with the complexity of human experiences, understand different perspectives, and learn about life in a nuanced and meaningful way. So the educational function of literature is about how stories help us grow as people by connecting us to the emotions, struggles, and experiences of others. So it's like having conversations with different various from around the world and from different times, and also teaching us lesson without and actually living through those situations ourselves. So why it's important? Imagine reading where the main character is facing a difficult decision or injustice. So through their story, you feel their pain, joy, and frustrations. So you learn not just the facts, but also how it feels to be in their shoes. So literature give us the chance to understand the world beyond our own personal experiences and making us more compassionate and open-minded.
And the last is the historical function in literature. History plays a crucial role in literature because it serves as both a source of inspiration and a lens through which we understand the present. It is a powerful tool for preserving the past, shaping cultural understanding, and influencing societal values. By examining the past events, literature reveals a timeless truth about the human condition. It acts as a time capsule capturing the events, beliefs, and the social dynamics of different eras. Studying literature provides insights into the historical development by immersing themselves into the literary works so that they can have a deeper understanding in the past events, social structures, and the cultural values. By exploring the past, literature can help us to understand the present. Why? Because it reveals the historical events that continue to shape contemporary society, influencing social structures, cultural norms, and political dynamics. In conclusion, historical function of literature is essential in understanding the past, appreciating cultural diversity, and shaping societal values.